Brock Purdy and the San Francisco 49ers continue to win, and he's a big reason for that. Even though on the stat sheet, you're not seeing crazy numbers from him. He's completing right around 70% of his passes and throwing right around 200 yards a game. But despite this, the Niners are putting up a ton of points. But this leads me to my next question. Has Brock Purdy hit his ceiling? And more specifically, should we be worried about those missed deep passes in the game against the LA Rams? In this video, I hope to break down Brock Purdy's performance against the Rams. So right here, we have Brock Purdy early in the game. And what he's doing here is executing his piece of the puzzle. He's getting the ball out of his hands quickly. He was the 4th quickest quarterback this last week, actually. And here you can see it. He finds George Kittle quickly and dumps off the ball. On this next play, we see the athleticism that many people underestimated when Brock Purdy was drafted with the last pick overall. He's able to get out of the pocket and dump it off to Christian McCaffrey for a positive gain. This is something I love about Brock Purdy and why I think he's a franchise quarterback. He's not trying to run down the field. He doesn't get overwhelmed, but is able to even direct Christian McCaffrey into a soft spot in the zone and make the easy pickup, or at least he makes it look easy, and that's exactly what you want him to do. Make these difficult plays look easy. Later in this drive, this is what I call just staying ahead of the chains. Brock Purdy is able to find Brandon Ayuk on an out route, which many people say Brock Purdy can't throw, but here he looks like he's able to hit Brandon Ayuk easily and picks up 12. This is what quarterbacking in the NFL is all about. Brock Purdy, later on the same drive, was able to pick up a first down on 3rd and 7. He was able to stick in there just long enough in the pocket and was able to place a beautiful pass in Brandon Ayuk's hands. And shout out to Brandon Ayuk, who was able to fight through injuries throughout this game and made a huge impact. Moving on to the next play on this drive, he dumped off to Deebo Samuel and hit the easy pass. This is what Kyle Shanahan wants out of a quarterback. The guy who just gets into his playmaker's hands and allows the play to develop like it should. And that really led it to being Christian McCaffrey set up for that nice touchdown run to start the game. Now going forward in Brock Purdy's game, while he did have positives to start the game, later in the game he had a big negative, and it was this play where he missed Brandon Ayuk. He overshot him. One argument I've seen is that Brock Purdy will never be a good quarterback at hitting it deep. And while it might be the case if Brock Purdy just kept missing these guys short, right now it doesn't seem like that's the problem though. It seems like he's missing them long. And for me, that indicates there might be a problem with the timing, or Brock Purdy just needs to work on his deep ball. This guy is still basically a rookie. He hasn't played in a ton of NFL games, and I know he was drafted late and many people say he has a low ceiling, but I do think that young players can improve, Brock Purdy included. This isn't saying that Brock Purdy doesn't need to improve, because he definitely does. Those are points left on the field, and in playoff games, that might lose you the game. But this is where I want to step back and talk about where Brock Purdy excelled in this game and where I was most impressed. Going into the half, the Niners were down 10-17, and they weren't going to get the ball starting the second half since they started out the game with the ball. The Niners had 1 minute 45 seconds to start out this drive. Brock Purdy did what everyone seems to hate, and that's hit the short pass, but I love it because that picked up 23 for the Niners. The next play, Brock Purdy was able to find CMC out of the backfield, getting pressured on his right side. He found his hot route to the right. That's exactly how Kyle Shanahan drew it up. If he got blitz and had a free rusher, like he did, you dump it off. That's how you keep the chains moving and allow Christian McCaffrey to pick up the first down on the next play. Moving on though, Brock Purdy made a beautiful deep pass and kind of atoned for missing a couple in this game by hitting Juwan Jennings even before he made his break. This is one of several plays I can point to where Brock Purdy was able to hit a deep pass. Moving on, Brock Purdy targeted Deebo Samuel, and a PI resulted in the Niners moving all the way down the field. Finally, Brock Purdy was able to take it in himself. Throughout this drive, Purdy was calm. He drove down the field, knew exactly what he was looking at, got through his reads, and did what Kyle Shanahan expected. And that's why Brock Purdy can be a franchise quarterback to San Francisco. He puts up 30 points a game, and I frankly expect it to continue. I know many people say when Brock Purdy has more film out there, then other teams will be able to shut him down. Well, it's been a whole entire offseason, and Brock Purdy isn't putting up crazy numbers. He's just working inside Kyle Shanahan's offensive scheme, and that's all Brock Purdy needs to do. And many people are going to push back and say, eventually he'll have to make those big plays. Well, just watch how Brock Purdy plays in those big moments like before the half. I'm not worried about Brock Purdy when he gets in those tough situations because he's proven time and time again, at least to me, that he can handle it. Finally, before breaking off this video, I want to talk about quarterback development, especially for young quarterbacks. If you look at several great quarterbacks' careers, let's take Peyton Manning for instance. His rookie year was atrocious. He threw a boatload of interceptions, but when asked about it, he often says it was crucial for his success throughout his career. So yes, Brock Purdy is going to have misses, but what we're looking here is to see how he addresses those misses. And throughout his career, we've seen him address some of his issues, such as stepping up in the pocket. Already this season, we're seeing Brock Purdy step up, where before he might have spun out. That's a total change. Brock Purdy is a guy that can actually take coaching and develop. And Brock Purdy missing these passes deep and not short indicates it's not an issue with his arm strength, but more an issue of just getting his timing down. And for me, I think that Brock Purdy is the type of player who's going to work on these things much like a Tom Brady type and get it down. So now that I gave my thoughts about Brock Purdy's performance against the LA Rams, I'd like to hear your thoughts down below. It would also mean a ton to me if you liked and subscribed. And as always, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day.